everybody. How is everyone doing on this Sunday morning? Again, this is Daily Motivation, 365 days of consistency, doing the same things over and over again until they become habit. And like the great Jay-Z said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it. So thank you for stopping by. Just a quick short message of curiosity, of questions that I always have in my mind. I'm a person that asks why. I'm a big why person. And I've always asked questions. And it makes me curious, which makes me a scholar and always searching for the answers. So I'm asking myself something. Why once a year, if you go on social media or you go on anywhere, you see memes of the great Martin Luther King Jr., the great preacher, the great orator, and you would see tons of people praising Happy MLK Day. I mean, I get a day off. I get to go barbecue. If I go to the hood, I go to certain blocks. It's Martin Luther King Lane. And, we praise the man. We praise the history of the man. Hey, Missy, how's it going? How you doing this Sunday? We praise the man, the myth, the legend of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but we don't praise his philosophies. And it always interests me. Why would you praise a person but not praise their beliefs? Why would you praise the exterior of them, what they've meant or what they accomplished, but not praise how they accomplished it? And I always feel that we as people, human beings, are always looking at the effects but never trying to understand the cause. We look at the effects, but we never try to understand the cause. And the cause is what makes us successful. See, I could call Martin Luther King Jr. successful because his dream came to fruition. The way things are in the 1965 are completely different in 2020. So his dream came to fruition. Now, is it perfect? No. But he never said the dream was supposed to be perfect. He just said a precedent of that dream. And so I asked myself this question: why praise the man but not praise his philosophy? See, he had few major philosophies. One was turn the other cheek. Two was peaceful protest. And three, which is the most important, which I'll say in a moment. So the philosophy of turn the other cheek he got from Gandhi. When Gandhi was being persecuted by his own country in India, and Gandhi was assassinated. But that liberated the Indian people from his philosophy of non-aggression, non-force, non-violence. Which is, if you ever read the book, Power versus Force, it's an amazing book. If you've never read it, please go out and buy it. It's called Power versus Force. And it shows the difference between humans' power and what their force. And so we think we could force our way to success. We could force our way to make things happen. We could force our way to change things. But the philosopher understood that it's the power of your vibration, what you're emitting, what you're sending out, is where you make the changes. And so what Martin Luther King understood and what Gandhi understood and what they got from the spiritual scriptures, what they understood was when you operate at a higher frequency of vibration, you attract the things that you want in life. But if you lower yourself to a vibration, that's what people say, don't go down to that level. It's all about your frequency and vibration. So when you keep yourself up at up frequency, you keep yourself a prestige. You keep yourself as a king, as a queen. And when you keep yourself at a higher frequency, what happens is you actually attract the thing that you're trying to get. See, when Nelson Mandela was thrown into the prison in South Africa, what irritated his captors were he did not lose his emotion. He could have been in the cell kicking and screaming, y'all better let me out. You don't know what's going to do. Guess when I get out, what I'm going to do to you? No. He was completely serene, and it drove them crazy. They're like, man, we just took away this guy's livelihood. We took away everything from him, and he's just so serene. That was the power. That was the power. Because why? When people stood back, they said, wow, look at this serene, calm, peaceful man. And then look at these monsters. They had to make the change. Because visually, it showed that one was in tuned, was centered, while the other ones were running amok, trying to use force to control, when the power is in your heart chakras. So when Nelson Mandela did not show emotions, they knew they couldn't have him. They knew that they lost that game. It reminded me, I was watching Michael Jordan's documentary, and the Bulls are always trying to get over the Pistons. And what happens is, at the last game, Dennis Rodman pushed Scottie Pippen in the back. And they were waiting for him to react because they knew if he reacted, they got him. They controlled their emotions. If somebody else can control your emotions, they control you. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important. If somebody else can control your emotions, that means they can control you. And so what Pippen did, he didn't react. And that's when Detroit knew, okay, we lost the game. We lost the game because they're not reacting. And so what Martin Luther King understood is when you hit yourself a higher vibration, you keep yourself a prestige, you keep yourself up. You don't need to lower your vibrations for anyone else to change things. You keep yourself as the higher up. Because a king never goes down to be a peasant. A king never goes down to be a peasant. Only a peasant could rise to be a king. But a king never lowers himself to be a peasant. So if you are a kingly state, a queenly state, you don't need to lower yourself to get your point across. You get your point across by being the best example of what a human being is supposed to be. That's what made him dangerous. That's what made Martin Luther King dangerous. So he said, turn the other cheek, because he knew you're never going to get where you want lowering yourself. That's one. Two, he said peaceful protests. Why? Because when we show at unity, lock arms, but we're doing it as a higher prestige person, it makes us look better. It makes you look more in control. It makes you look more vibrant. It makes you look more positive. And that positive, understand, light will never be defeated by dark. Never. Dark can manipulate the light to be shown dim, to dim your light, but it can never destroy the light. It could dim it, but it can never destroy it. So if your light shines bright, 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 it destroys darkness. It destroys darkness. So he knew when you have a peaceful protest, all you do is exposing your light. Again, dangerous. They didn't like that. And number three, the most effective way he understood was, it's not about blue, black, white, yellow, red. Has nothing to do with any of those colors. Zero. If we truly understood what's happening around us, it has everything to do with green. Green. The economy. This is an economic war, not a racial war. It's an economic war. Look at the places where you live. How is the school systems there? What are they teaching you? Because if you stay at a lower level, you could be controlled. But if you up your level in your finances, the less control you have. See, when you can leverage your finances, you move yourself up the upper echelon where somebody cannot control you. That's why they have a thing called FU money. FU money means I am so wealthy in my relationships, in my personal life, in my finances, that whatever you do or say cannot affect me because I'm already up there. And I can leverage my income to make changes and differences in the planet. See, what made Martin Luther King so dangerous, people think, because he protested, because he had silent retreats, because of his preaching. No, that's not what made him dangerous. There's tons of people who are doing that. What made him dangerous is one single man held up the United States economy. That's what made him dangerous. Is how does one man, one single voice, can completely halt the United States economy. It's about green, my friends. When he said, okay, you don't want us to mess with your stuff? Fine, we won't use your stuff, period. We won't take your taxis, we won't take your buses, we won't go into your stores, we won't shop at your places. And they said, whoa, 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 whoa. That's a big dip in the economy. They needed that change. That boycott was what made people's ears perk up. Like, oh, crap, crap, crap. That's empowerment. So the Asians understand. The Asians pass the money within themselves. The Arabs pass the money within themselves. The Indians pass the money with themselves. If you ever go to these communities, I've hung out with them. They support and move the money around each other. But what happens is when the money is completely dispersed and spread out and you don't have the money, you have no leverage. And when you have no leverage, you have no rights. So this is not a game about black. This isn't a game about white. It's a game about green. As you elevate yourself in those three ways, that's what he understood, is if you want to make change, hurt the wallet. You really want to make change? Hurt the wallet. Don't hurt the stores. Don't break anything. That's not going to change anything. We've done Brooklyn riots, Watts riots, all those riots, all the same thing. But when you vibrate as a king, thank you, Ann. When you vibrate as a king and a queen, and you put yourself at an upper level, no matter what they do, they cannot touch you, and they know that. Everyone knows that. So if you are looking to be successful in anything, change anything, it could be political, it could be in your community. Success is a broad spectrum. You could be successful in anything you do, but you have to operate at a higher level, because that's where your power is. And as soon as you decrease your level, they got you. They got you. And one thing that was told to me when I was really understanding the Bible and the good book was the devil knows better than the saint. The devil understands the book better than the saint. So they know what they're doing. If that can lower your level, if I could lower your vibration, if I could lower where you're at into my level, guess what happens? I got you. I got you. You're down here with me. I got you. That's why the enemy is always trying to pull you down, because they got you. But if you keep yourself at a higher vibration, a higher energy, as a king, as a queen, with prestige, and you hold yourself upright and say, no matter what they do, I'm not going to lower myself to that vibration, you are commanding your environment. The reason why I love Martin Luther King is because he understood the good book more than most. He understood that you cannot condemn something, you cannot remedy something by condemning it. Dr. Wayne Dyer, you cannot remedy something by condemning it. So you have to uplift it. You have to uplift it. You can't come down to it, but you have to uplift it. Peaceful protest is, I spread my light. I don't get consumed by the dark. I don't let the dark take over me. I can express my light and let the light take over it. And number 3, it's a game about the green. It's a game about the green, people. I was listening to, I forgot the guy's name, I'm one of his programs, but when you don't understand credit, when you don't understand taxes, when you don't understand entrepreneurship, when you don't understand business, when you don't understand commerce, when you don't understand economy, the things that make this capitalistic country work, when you don't understand the foundations that make this country work, they got you. You'll always be working for somebody else. You'll always be behind the 8 ball. You'll never get up because they have information that you don't have. So the very first thing you want to do is 1, bring yourself to a higher vibration. 2, spread your light. And 3, increase your economy. Increase your economy. You don't have to believe me. Again, this is Rich Fontaine. Either you could agree with me or not agree with me. But either way, I feel this was a successful conversation. Miriam, thank you. Ron, thank you. Ann, thank you. Quesha, thank you. Missy, thank you. I appreciate you taking your time. We just have to understand in a higher vantage point of everything that happens around us. My life changed when I started becoming aware of everything that was happening around me. And not to become a victim to those things, but to elevate myself above those things. And not saying I'm better than those things, but if I vibrate at a higher level, that's when I can actually have things change in my life and able to change those in others. But that only happens if you keep yourself high. No matter what, keep yourself at that high vibration. If you're a king, if you're a queen, you claim to be, I'm a king, I'm a queen, act like one. Act like one. Again, the king doesn't lower himself to the peasant. The peasant can rise to a king, but the king doesn't lower himself to a peasant. This is Rich Fontaine. Love is love. I appreciate all of you. I say happy Martin Luther King year. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember the philosophies of success. And he knew it. That's why he's successful. That's why you still know his name. Love is love. I appreciate all of you. Dominic, thank you for watching, brother. Namaste.